All right, so welcome to tonight's webinar. I am so excited to see you guys here. I am excited to see faces. So thank you for those who can get on camera. Yeah, so the link for tonight was sent both via text and also email if you guys have to like join from your phone or from the computer. Please, if you, I do have like a few housekeeping rules, but it's more so for you, not for me. If you can get off of social media, because I've taken webinars before, I still take webinars. I attend virtual events all the time. I know how easy it is to get distracted. So making sure that social media is off. If you're anything like me, I am a games person. I have a lot of different games on my phone, and sometimes I'll end up on a game. So I don't want you guys to miss this information because this is not your normal webinar where I'm teaching social media things or I'm teaching marketing or anything like this. This is something important and is near dear to my heart, and it might be to yours too. And that's starting a pregnancy support agency. And let's talk about how does that look, especially as you can see in the title, literally last week, the program has changed, right? And so this is important information for you guys to know, one, to consider if this is still for you, if you still want to do it,
So what kind of
and
trauma
then
do you think?
two,
Amen.
making sure that you are eligible to do this, right? So there are rules to being able to open this. Not anybody and everybody can open this anymore. So, for those of you who are here and probably new to me, actually, if you guys are new to me, say new, like you've never seen any of my lives, you've never seen any of my anything.
No.
Um, new, if anybody is here and you've known me for some time,
No.
put OG, put OG. I'm gonna just have y'all put
No.
OG. Okay. So I see new, new, new. I like new. I like new. I like OG too. Because I actually see one name so far. I can't see
No.
everybody's name. Okay. All right. Well, new. Okay. So I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about myself in a second. And tell y'all why you should listen to me when it comes to pregnancy support agency. So, my goal from this webinar tonight is for you to learn what is a pregnancy support agency, how do you start it without delays, denials, or guessing. I am not a gatekeeper, so I share as much as I can. And also, I coach women on how to open this, build this the right way, and scale it because my main objective is building this the right way. Like you'll see this on majority of my tags, majority of anything that I do is going to say build it the right way. And if you know, you know. So, before I introduce myself, let's say a little bit about the PNCC program and how people don't realize they're doing it wrong, especially when they go and start looking up information. Because number one, the information that is out there is wrong. If you go to Florida Health and look at the handbook, it is wrong. It has not been updated yet. And so there are outdated steps right now on how to apply and open your pregnancy support agency. And actually, I'm going to say PNCC because you guys are all here. You understand that pregnancy support agency means PNCC, which is prenatal care coordination. That's working with women who are pregnant up until that baby turns 60 days. As of today, I'm saying that. That does not mean that next week that might not change because we know that Governor Evers just changed postpartum to be up to 12 months. And so right now, PNCC is 60 days, but that could change at any point. So I'm saying as of today, okay? And so, yeah, you're working with the mom who's pregnant up until she give birth and that baby turns 60 days. So people are getting things wrong right now because they're following outdated steps. They're doing incomplete applications. I've been coaching for about 8 years now, helping women open this program. So many women come to me after they've been denied. And they say, hey, I was denied because of this, this, this. And it was a simple fix. but they just didn't know it, right? Because they haven't done it. They did it on their own. They did DIY. Or it was something missing that they actually had, but they didn't include it. So a lot of people go wrong with incomplete steps. And then no clear answers. And so I don't know how many of you guys, how many, actually put it in the chat. If you can put in the chat, are you new to PNCC? Like, have you heard this before? You've just been like kind of digging and researching, nobody's sharing. A lot of people gatekeep because they don't want you to do what they're doing. Um, you're new. Okay, so how many people are new to PNCC? Like, you never heard about PNCC. You just kind of saw something, you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. I have heard of it. Okay, so there's really no clear answers again, especially when you look at the handbook, because one, right now is outdated, and then two, it's kind of hard to understand. Oh, you saw Maria. Maria O'Neill was actually one of my students, and so I'm helping her open her own PNCC business. Okay, you've heard of it? Cool. Okay, so let's keep going. And actually, yeah. Doing it wrong costs you more than you think. So you heard of it, you just never knew to start it on your own. I'm gonna talk about that too, because that was my story. So doing it wrong can one cost a lot of delays. It can cost momentum. So I have a student right now who she worked with me years ago, but she actually never applied. And she came back to say, hey, I'm ready. And because it's been so much time and so much has changed, she kind of lost momentum and she lost really a little bit of the desire to keep going because it became difficult for her. And so once you start, like you guys are here, you're like intrigued, you want to know more, you might hear this and like, okay, I'm excited, I want to do it. But then lack of speed, you lose momentum and you lose the excitement to actually do it. And then it takes a lot of time. It becomes draining. You lose focus. Life happens. I know a little bit about that. Life happens. And that application that you started sits on the back burner and it's just there, right? And then also because you have months of delays, you have lack of momentum, you're missing out on income because especially for those of you who are in childcare, you're probably already doing some of these things. And you're probably already doing some of these things for free, right? And so when you learn that you can actually build a state, just like you build a state for childcare, you can build a state for these services. Well, if you're not open, you're not getting paid. And I'm going to talk about this in a second when it comes to myself. I'm all for helping women create legacy for their family. It's hard to do that when you're struggling financially, right? Like, what are you going to leave your kids? If you have a spouse, what are you going to leave your family if something happens to you? So I'm really big right now on leaving something for your family. And so if you're not creating an extra stream of income or if just your first entrepreneurship income, you're missing it, right? So, what you'll walk away with today, like I said, we're going to talk to you about the changes, some of the changes that just recently happened. What steps do you need to take to actually move forward with no guessing? And then confidence to take action. Like you're going to leave here knowing how you're going to take your next step. Are you going to take step A, B, C? Like, what are you going to do to actually take action? I'm huge on taking action. Don't just sit on what I give you. What are you going to do to take action to make this happen for yourself? So, why listen to me? I actually started off as a client and I was pregnant, and my best friend at the time was a care coordinator. And the little baby that I was pregnant with is actually now turning 15. She'll be 15 in June, which is hard to believe. And so I've been knowing about PNCC for a very long time. And so while I was pregnant, my friend was helping me with different services in the community. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I did not know that all of this was here. And because I have a background in community education, I was like, friend, hook me up. I want to work for the company too. And so from being pregnant, giving birth to my baby, I then joined her company that she was working for, and I became a care coordinator too. And I began to work with clients, and I loved it. When I say that it's such an amazing experience of working with a mom, especially when I was working with teen moms and young moms in general, because at this time I was a mom of three. Now I'm a mom of four. The youngest being he's about to be 13. And so working with moms, whether they're a first time mom or they're older and this is a baby that was unexpected, that came across that was just a rewarding experience because they didn't know all the resources that Milwaukee had. Um, Oh, okay. You said, I'm assuming you're talking about you started with Maria. Yes. And so it was a great experience. Because I'm an entrepreneur, majority of the clients that I worked with became entrepreneurs, whether they started a childcare, a family childcare, somebody started a nail salon, she's a nail tech. I had somebody start nanny services, cleaning business, whatever it was that was their desire. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I gave that idea and inspiration to them, and then I helped them start the business. So I really loved working with the ladies. So from being a care coordinator, my friend opened her own and was like, "Hey, want to come work with me?" Sure, why not? And I became her program manager. Now, this is again in the 15 years of me being in PNCC. And so I don't know about you guys. How many of you are really interested in financial freedom? Like owning your time. If that's you, say yes. If you want to own your time, even if you're a childcare owner and you're in there every single day, all day, probably working harder than your employees, right? Like you want the financial freedom, you want the like just I can go and do whatever I want when I want. This was me when I started working for my friend because I was an independent contractor and you could not tell me anything until about a year or two later, she was like, "Friend, I think I'm gonna close the business." Excuse me? She just took away my freedom, y'all. Like, I was like, wait a minute. I have my four babies. I'm married. Well, yes, I'm married with four kids, which is very important. I usually say that first, but I just kind of dove in there. And so I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I'm an entrepreneur. I make my own time. I handle my own until she snatched it away. And I realized being an independent contractor, you're still under somebody else, right? And so that process kind of prompted me to go open my own. This was back in 2014. So 2014, I decided to jump out there. I've never owned a real business before because I did a lot of hobbies and, Mary Kay and I did Beachbody and I did Melaleuca and I did all the things to try to become an entrepreneur. I wasn't sure how to do it. I just knew I wanted my own. I just knew I wanted financial freedom. If you want financial freedom, say financial freedom. Like that's all I knew I wanted at the time so that I could retire my husband. That was my goal. I want to retire my husband. He don't have to work. He can work if he want to. Right? So financial freedom is what I was looking for. Malika, you said you did all of those. Yes, I was trying to find my lane. Like I just know I want financial freedom and I'm an entrepreneur and I don't want to give my time to the man. That's all I knew, right? And so I started my own in 2014 and it grew. And I realized that having my own was the way to go. And so after a year, I started hiring people. I had employees. I was excited. I eventually stopped working with clients because that wasn't my lane anymore. I became program manager of my own business. And then eventually I didn't want to do that anymore. And I hired a program manager. I then hired somebody to do billing for me because that was a lot. And I became a true CEO. So much so that I went and opened up two other businesses while that business was still going. And so after a while, let's say, like I said, I've been coaching for about 8 years. I was noticing other ladies was trying to open this business too, but I saw that they were
Yeah.
doing it wrong, right? I was seeing what people were posting on social media, and I'm like, no, don't put, no, that's not right. And so I start training. And I started going hard in 2020 around COVID because there was a lot of PNCC agencies popping up. And I'm like, wait, no, let me train you. Let me train you, right? So yeah, I've been coaching for 8 years. I've actually been through an audit myself. I actually was trained by auditors, which they don't do that anymore. I don't know why, but they don't. So I was trained by auditors, been through an audit. I've helped almost 100 ladies at this point open their own PNCC agency. I helped with audits of those who are open. I help audit their paperwork to make sure that they are compliant. And then I'm a teacher at heart. I love helping people walk through the process. And again, like I said at the beginning, I want to help you build this the right way because the application is just the beginning. That's the easy part. Once you open, then what? How do you make sure that you're compliant? How do you make sure that you follow the rules if the handbook is outdated? Where's the information coming from? So that's kind of what I help with and I train. So yes, I didn't start where I am now, where I still have my agency. I have care coordinators, I have program manager, I have a lot of students, but I didn't start here. I actually learned the hard way. You would think that my best friend at the time, when she closed hers, that she would have helped me. She did not. I bumped my head along the way in trying to open up this business. So it took me about 9 months to actually open. And so when I say I understand the struggles, a lot of what I teach is from the mistakes that I made. Like, hey, friend, don't make the same mistake I made. I actually had one student because I teach from what I know so that you guys don't make the same mistakes. When she started working with me, she put in her application. Is it for all states or just Milwaukee? Some states have it. I only coach Milwaukee because that's what I have and that's what I know. I know that Texas has something, Atlanta has something, but different clientele. I know Milwaukee, that's what I coach. So I get people asking me all the time about other cities and states, and I just say I just do Milwaukee County. That's different than Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee County. And so, yeah, so learning the hard way, bumped my head, helped one of my clients, taught her everything I knew. Her first 7 months, everybody say 7 months. Her first 7 months, she hit six figures, meaning she hit over $100,000 in her business. The right way, people. Cannot emphasize that enough. The right way. And you again, you can hear me say that a lot. Her first 7 months, she earned 100, or she made 100K. By month 12, ladies, she doubled that. She made over 200K by month 12. Why? Because she took what I gave her and she applied it and she scaled. Because when you have a mentor, you just bypass all their mistakes here, right? It took me maybe a couple of years to hit six figures. One, because I didn't believe that I could. Like, this is one thing if you guys are not entrepreneurs, or even if you are entrepreneurs, being around the right crowd is important. I didn't know that six figures was possible for me. Everybody thought that I was kind of bougie, or you want too much, or oh, you think you did, like whatever it was, because my goal was six figures eventually, right? Based on who I was hanging around. It actually wasn't until I started hanging around millionaires that I wanted to become a millionaire. And again, I thought that six figures was enough because the people that I was around didn't really want it, right? And so having a coach that is where you want to be or has the roadmap to, where you're going, having that for her helped her excel her speed. What took me several years took her 12 months, right? So I didn't start where I am, but I understand the process. I understand the making mistakes. And I'm like, hey, let's not do that, right? So, where it started, confusion about the process. Y'all, I was turned in the wrong paperwork. The auditor would come and say, "Hey, do you have this?" And I'm like, "The what now? I don't know what that is." I had the wrong pieces. There was no clear map for me. I kind of was like, because I was program manager, kind of trying to go behind the scenes of what she had and let me see what she did. And what is a NPI? I have no idea what that is. And there was no AI back then to ask questions or anything like that. So that's where I started, bumping my head, figuring it out. And because I did that, it took me longer. I'm gonna give y'all one quick word of advice. If you do this or when you do this, do not do the hardship. I think it's like an option for hardship, financial hardship that I have yet to see anybody get approved for that, and it slows down your process. You're gonna add months upon months of your application if you try to apply for hardship for the application fee. Don't do that. Just wait until you have the amount to go and do that. So a lot of people think I just need to submit the application. And like I said, they just changed it. No, that's not the process. It never really was. So for all my childcare owners, you guys know there's a process to submitting for to open up a childcare center, right? You got to go through compliance. You got to show them plans. You got to have certain training. You got to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Submit it all to them and then pray that they approve. Kind of the same process for PNCC. However, what they just changed now, and I'm gonna give y'all this, and I don't share this too much, but now the process, once you're approved, they want you to go to every insurance agency that service Milwaukee County and get credentialed to be able to get paid for PNCC now. So now there's an extra step in the whole process. So it's not just you approve and then just start working with your clients and get billed. No, no. Now you have to go and apply with every insurance company and whatever their process is and go through that process and wait. Now, I don't say that to deter you. Because just like with childcare or any other business, if there's a process, if this is really what you want to do, you're going to do it. You just, my advice is to get help, right? But my advice is to just take it bit by bit and do it as you can, just knowing that it's going to take a little bit longer. But if your goal is to help women who are pregnant in the community, by all means, please do this. There is a need for this business. If you guys don't know, Milwaukee has the highest infant mortality rate in the state. It has more than all the other, I believe it has more than all the other counties combined. Milwaukee County has that high percentage of infant mortality. So no matter if you think this field is oversaturated, whatever, there are new moms every day. There are new moms every day getting pregnant. There are new moms every day having their babies. And there are moms out there right now that don't even have medical support. Like probably don't have a doctor. They don't know the resources out there. They don't know what's going on. I tell my students all the time, your ladies are waiting for you. The ladies who I used to service, because I don't service clients anymore, but you might be able to reach somebody that I wouldn't be able to reach, right? Some clients looked at me and was like, "Are you black?" You know what I mean? Like they probably would want somebody else that looked like them. I'm like, "Yes, I'm black." Like it's 2026 now, people. We all know black come in different shades. That's beside the point. The point is, your lady is waiting for you. She might vibe with your energy. She might understand your story because you understand her story, whereas maybe I might not understand her story, right? And so there are women out there that need a you that I wouldn't be able to relate, but you would, right? So that's what the PNCC program really is, and what it leans towards is for, and I always say lack of a better way to say it, but this just the real. They're really looking for people to match. And that's like a horrible way to say it, but that's really what it is because they want you to be in a zip code where the people that you're serving your staff represents that neighborhood. Your staff, you don't want to have a all black staff and then y'all on the south side. You can, but that's one of the questions that they ask you. What it culturally does your staff, you and your company, represent the neighborhood that you're in? Because they want you to be able to relate to your clients. So, all that to say, your ladies are waiting for you. Okay. So yes, it's more than just the application. It's a process. And again, that handbook right now is outdated on what that process is. So where things start to break down for people is delays without explanation. Let me tell y'all this. Y'all listening? Let me tell y'all this. It is good to have a coach to help you fight the state. What do I mean by that? I had a student, two, I'm gonna give you two stories. I had a student who applied. Now, she didn't apply. Okay, let me take it. She did the application without my help. So they both actually did their application without my help, but then they joined the second part of my company. So I have different ways to help you. So they joined the second part of my company. And so the first lady who joined the second part waited for her application to be approved. Months go by, she get a letter that she's denied. The reason, so she called, but also the reason that was in the letter, the reason she was denied, y'all, is because it took too long to process. It took too long to process. And not on her end. It went to somebody's desk and it sat there and it didn't move. And so they denied her for that. Do y'all think they wanted to give her her money back? They did not. So it's important to have somebody to show you how to fight things like that. Another student who she did, this was years ago before all the different changes. She submitted her application and she was denied. And she showed me what they were saying. And she said, well, they're telling me I don't have a qualified professional, but I do. I'm the qualified professional. And so I helped her with different laws and like how to rebuttal, because you do get to rebuttal. You just got to know how to do it and who to talk to. And so she rebutted. And within, I want to say maybe 2 days, 2 business days, they reversed her denial and approved her because she knew how to fight back. Because they do sometimes do silly things like that, and you have to know how to fight. So, delays without explanation. So, they will say you're denied and not give any real good feedback, right? So, that's why how I teach, I always say you want to submit your application like you're giving it to a third grader. Like if anybody ever was a student of mine, I say it all the time. It has to be so simplistic a third grader could understand it. There should be no questions, right? That's how I teach. So that's why a majority of my ladies, when they follow my plan, they get approved. Questions without answers. It's a lot of questions that people have. If you guys are not in my PNCC group on Facebook, somebody remind me at the end to post that link so that you guys to join, because I go live sometimes and I do Q&A, not so much to give you step by step, but like frequently asked questions like who is a qualified professional and things like that. And so some of those questions, it's hard to find the answer. It's hard to Google it. It's hard to call and ask somebody. Like it's just hard to figure out the right answers. And then uncertainty drains you. Like if you get frustrated, what do? You quit. And so people quit because they got frustrated. And so that's kind of where things break down for a lot of different people. So PNCC is not an application. It's not a checkbox this. It's a full agency system. Also, I want people to get into the mindset of not just doing PNCC, right? You want to do PNCC, you want to do CCC, which is child care coordination, which is once mom has the baby, you can switch her over and then start working with her up until that child turns 7. I want people to, and this is just again, people that I work with, I'm helping them with these things, adding CCC, adding respite to services that they do. Just like, so you're a one-stop shop, right? So that you're helping the woman totally. Especially my childcare owners. I know it's a lot of childcare owners and directors here. Imagine adding PNCC to your childcare. Now you're helping your parents also with PNCC services. It's like a full circle for my childcare owners, which is why I help a lot of childcare owners open this and add this to their business. So if the foundation is wrong, everything slows down. So another thing, if anybody already knew this, this is in the handbook that you need MOUs with the insurance agencies. You no longer need that. That's no longer required. So if you were in the process of trying to do this on your own, scratch that part out. If you heard you had to have an MOU, you no longer need an MOU. So having the structure, having the documentation, having the policies and the compliance, there are two things that you need. Um, I'll think about that later. I just had an idea, but there's, do you need an NPI number? Yes, you do. You need an NPI number. If you are, even if you're a nurse and you have an NPI number already, you need an NPI number for your organization, not for you as an individual. So if you had it for another business, you need an NPI number for this business because it's something that's separate.
I have a
Um,
question.
uh-huh.
So I had like started my application and got like an MPI number, because I was wanting to connect it with my daycare, with the
Mm,
parents. Um, I did get an MPI, but I didn't fully finish everything because I was reading that you need a nurse as well to open it. And I was trying to see like when I got the call in the numbers, trying to see is that true or can I just fully
hmm
go without it?
hmm All great questions. Who just spoke?
Rashika, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
doing
okay.
something with my daughter, so it's like I got the camera on, but you're not
Got
able to
you.
see me.
Got you. I just try to memorize names. That's all. Like I heard you talking. Okay, so thank you for asking that. I love questions, by the way. That is a great, those are great questions. Number one, because like I told you, I work with a lot of childcare owners. Number one, I would not put PNCC under your childcare at all. They need to be two different entities. Here's why. When you connect entities under an LLC, they're both liable for the other. And so if something happens in your childcare center and you have a parent that wants to sue you, they're going to come after you and your PNCC agency. Both businesses have the opportunity to make you a lot of money. And so if they're both underneath, the said parent is coming after both, right? And so you want them separate. You want an entity that's and if here's free advice again, if you guys are making over, I want to say 50K in any of your business, you need to be an S corp, right? Not just a LLC because now you're wasting money on um so that's a whole other thing. Talk to your tax person, S corp, if you're making like over 50K. Just a little tidbit. But when you have your child care, that's one LLC, possibly an S corp, depending on if you're making a lot. And then PNCC at a certain point definitely would have to turn into an S corp because you will make a lot, especially if you're working with me. That's too many. That's too many great big businesses under one. So that's just one thing. Number two, um, you asked, that's a frequently asked question. Do you need a nurse? No, you don't need a nurse. Everybody say, no, you don't need a nurse. Like if you put that in chat, no, you don't need a nurse. Because that's what I hear all the time, especially like in 2020, between 2020 and 2022, nurses, and no offense to any nurse, I'm not saying it in the wrong way because you earned your degree, you did the things. Nurses were hot commodity because everybody who wanted to open a PNCC was like, I gotta go find a nurse. And then so what did nurses do? Supply and demand, right? Oh, I'm needed. So they was charging $1,000 hiring bonus. They was one lady came to me and paid a $1,000 hiring bonus to a nurse that when it came time to show proof on the application, the nurse was nowhere to be found. And I'm like, well, ma'am, where's the contract? She's like, what contract? You're paying $1,000 with no contract? Like what? Anyway, no, you don't need a nurse. You need a qualified professional. A qualified professional is what you need. A nurse can be a qualified professional under certain there's specifications underneath because it's not just a regular RN. They have to have certain experience, okay? So I've seen people denied with the nurse because it wasn't on the resume with a certain experience. There are about 11 professions that's underneath a qualified professional. That's what you need. You need a qualified professional. Yes, you can have a nurse satisfy that if you want, but you don't need a nurse. So I saw that somebody was a doula in here. Guess what? A doula is a qualified professional if they have 4 years of experience and they were certified under a licensed program. That is now a qualified professional, and that's new, not in the handbook. Right? So, yes, I'm glad you asked that. So, no, you don't need a nurse. You need a qualified professional. I can't stress that enough. And again, there's about 11 different professions that you can hire within that satisfies that qualified professional piece.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome. Three biggest mistakes: treating it like it's paperwork, thinking you're not ready, trying to figure it out alone. So, for people who are here that are in childcare, again, like I said, I work with a lot of childcare owners. You have to, when it says thinking you're not ready, depending on your education and experience, because now there are rules to even be an owner. So I think I saw somebody here that was a hairstylist. You have to have experience, at least 1 year of experience of maternal health. For my childcare lady, so like for RN, that's probably easy to prove. For doula, that's easy to prove. For childcare, that's not as easy to prove, but it's there, right? And so what you need to do is focus on your resume and learning how to prove that you have that maternal health experience. And so when I work with my ladies, we're sitting down and we're looking at all the different things that you've done as far as we're in your daycare, education that you received, because one, you took a nutrition and health class, yes, to become a
Hmm.
childcare owner. That's
Hmm.
experience, right? That's working with newborns. And so maternal health is such a broad terminology. You have to learn how to hone that in on your resume. And so I help ladies with that. So for my lady who is a hairstylist, you can still open. You just got to show proof on your resume that you have that experience. I helped a real estate agent open up a PNCC agency. She wasn't a doctor, like she didn't have anything, but she had education experience in other things, and she mostly was a real estate agent, but she opened up a PNCC. So it's all in how you prove you have that experience. Okay. Um, did I see somebody else? Oh, no nurse needed. So treating PNCC like paperwork, you need to have, everybody write this down, a training plan. What is a training plan? A training plan is going to tell you how, or tell you, which is like a SOP, right? But also tell the state, how do you plan to hire? How do you plan to train? How do you plan to make sure that your person is qualified? How are you onboarding them? All the things. That's what your training plan is going to tell the state and also you, right? Like, how are you going to operate in that way? So you need a training plan. You also need an operating plan. What is an operating plan? This is where you're going to tell the state and also you, and I say you because this helps with your structure as you build your business. How are you going to implement all the things that the handbook asks you to do in the DHS law? How are you going to implement all of that in your business? Let me tell you, these two things are so vital because right now, from what I see, and just let me give a caveat, I do not work for the state. I do not know all the things that's going to happen. I just get information and then I report it and I tell people how to operate within it, right? Because I've been doing this for so long. I've seen so many different changes, been there, done that. So I don't work for the state. I do not approve applications, none of the things. So working with me does not mean that you get in faster or anything. I can help you get in faster by things that I've seen work, but not because I'm in with the state. So I just wanted to put that out there. But these two are so important, your training plan and your operating plan, because they're looking for businesses as you go and apply to make sure you know what you're doing. Because for too many years, as of recent, a lot of ladies open and didn't know what they were doing. And they were doing a lot of things wrong, whether it was intentional or not. A lot of things were done wrong. And now they're like, well, we're not doing that anymore. Which is why that's one of the reasons why things just recently changed in how the application is processed. Because they're making it intentionally harder for some people to open. They did this with childcare. If you think about it,
Yeah,
years ago,
they did.
they saw people becoming, wealthy and getting a groove and having these businesses open, and they're like, wait. We gotta get a grip on this. And so, when you have a correct training plan and a correct operating plan, that's going to show them that you know what you're doing. So, for example, you have to have your care plan has to be updated every 60 days. So that's in your operating plan. They're going to be looking for things like that. Like if you know the time frame on the different things. So you have to become an expert on PNCC, and that's what I train you to do. How do you become an expert on PNCC like me? Natasha said it was a big witch hunt. Exactly. Caused a big witch, big. So yeah, you want to know what you're doing, and you're showing that in your operating plan and your training plan. Veronica, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Your thing lit up.
Oh,
Okay. Another thing, if you're doing this on your own, don't rush submission, but also don't take your time. I say that because again, I was just working with somebody and she had everything needed to apply and she didn't do it. She didn't do it for a good 6 to 8 months. And she reached out to me, was like, "Hey Maria, I'm ready." They just changed the process. She like, "What?" I'm ready to quit. Well, ma'am, I tell you all the time, and I just heard, I tell all my students, do not sit on the opportunity because we don't know when things are going to change. The state changes all the time, and it definitely changes when the governor changes, right? And so, like, I can't remember who was before Scott Walker, but whoever it was, we were able to bill a large amount per hour. Then Walker came in and he minimized that program like this. We used to be able to work with CCC clients 40 hours a month. He got in, he changed it to 10 hours a month because that's what he did, right? And then Evers came, which was like, and he increased the pay. So he didn't increase the hours. It's still only 10 hours, but he increased how much you can get paid out for each client, right? So it matters who's in office. So I tell people all the time, do not, if you know this is what you want to do, if you know in your heart that you want to help these women in the community, we see the community, especially childcare owners, or just if you're out here, you see the community. How can you help them? This is a good starting spot. Whether you have a daycare or not, this is a good starting spot because it's one of the cheapest businesses that you can start. Childcare, you start, but then you gotta get furniture, you gotta get all the things like, and you're spending a grip or doing. I had childcare for a hot second, yeah, like you're spending a lot of money. This is one of the businesses that has a low entry fee that will potentially make you a lot of money the right way. I
Yes,
teach the right way. You have a
yes,
question?
yes. I just wanted to say something.
Hmm.
Um, I had looked into this like two years ago, and that's what I wanted to do. So I had started everything, but like you said, that I did, stop, and then I started back. And you're right, everything have changed. So when I did
Yeah.
start I do have an application now. I submitted back in August. I did have me a nurse. I did my training plan. I did all that. Like I had everything. And I
Hmm.
ended up having a site visit in January, which kind of pushed me back because they still have to send it back to the back office, and that's another 30 to 60 days. So it's so much. Like you said, it takes a while, but I'm still in a process of which I don't know if I'm gonna get approved or not. But I speak it to existence. I already said I was
Yes.
approved, so I don't believe in
Speak
that.
it
Yeah,
into
I'm
existence.
approved.
but
I'm
also
approved.
get help.
Just
Like, because I'm
wait.
gonna give you,
Yes.
Sheila, I'm gonna give you this. Because I had one student who waited at least a year and a half. And I haven't spoken to her. Like, I kind of reach out every once in a while because she's not in my program, but I reach out like, hey, how did it go? And every time she's like, no, nothing. And I've seen people
Yes.
who apply,
Hmm.
but after her get approved before her, right? Here's the
Yes.
thing, because remember when we all saw it, I'm not gonna speak on it, we all saw what just happened, right? Make sure, please, for the love of God, go through your social media and clean it up. Not saying that anybody's social media look like anything, but do your social media represent to where
Yes, it do.
if a person from the state comes and look at all your stuff, will they feel okay to say yes, you're approved? That's how you want to look at your social media. However, that is for you, but just make sure because that's what that's what I told her. I believe it's your social media because a lot of things on there is questionable. So, do you represent the funded program after everything that just happened? Will they trust you to do what it says you is go do? Right? So, yes. Tanya, hey.
Hey, I just want to speak about you. I know you didn't ask me to do this, ma'am.
I didn't even know you
And
were
I
on.
just turned on my camera again. So what I really want to say that if you are considering working with her, um I was in my own experience, in my own observation, I actually was in the process of opening, but life began to life, like real life, life just life. So I had to step back. So it pulled me off a track. I wasn't able to follow through, not because of anything that she did. When I tell you she gives you thorough, detailed information, resources, things that you get to keep. But I had to just step back because those who know my life understand. If you know, you know. But what stood out to me for her was always she didn't treat me like a situation. She always made me understand that I was worthy of the opportunity. So she, not me, she would stay consistent. She would she was always actively checking in. She's always like seeing where I'm at, always. This says no, no money exchange. She doesn't have to, none of that. She just actively like once she connects, it's like she really connects and really tries to stay. So I'm just speaking to her character on today for those who don't know, because oftentimes we run into programs and people saying, oh, I can give you this, or I'll show you this, or you just pay me, and there's no follow through. There's nothing. They charge you an arm, a leg, and a third, and then we end up with nothing. Um, but she is the type of leader, and I want to say she is the type of builder who believes in people beyond their current capacity. She has to see something in me that sometimes I'd be like, let me keep going, let me get back up, let me just keep trying. But her she didn't pause because I paused. She just knew to keep checking in. So I just want to say that she is just truly somebody who works for you. She's very clear in her guidance. She gives good direction. She's gonna tell you the real, raw, ugly truth. She's gonna give you factual information. She's just so honest. So that's a balance that we need. Now, she's not going to do the work for you because, they say if you teach a man, you got to teach him how to fish, right? So she's a teacher. Like she's truly going to teach you so that you don't have to go, you don't have to ask anybody else. So she is really wants you to do the process. She's not going to do it for you. She will circle back. She will answer your questions. She will do all of that to make sure and generally cares about you winning. Like I have not ran across many people that really want to see people win. Like she really wants to see you win. So I'm not just saying this. She didn't ask me to say it. I'm just in a space in my life where I'm coming out of my dark space. But during that thing, when I was in my pit, she stayed consistent. She stayed checking on me. She kept saying, "You can do this." She kept saying, "Where you at?" She didn't say, "Where's your money? Can you pay me today? Give me this." No, she really said, "I believe you can. When are you ready? Are you ready yet?" Are those type of things. And oftentimes, not that she has to, not that it's a requirement, but I felt like it spoke to her integrity as a person, her desire to see me connect, her desire to see me reconnect, her desire to really help me with my vision, help me with my dreams, help me and that doesn't have to matter to her, but she is truly someone um who wants to see you win. So if you are looking for a leader, if you are looking for a builder, she's definitely a builder of people who believes in you, who will not throw you off track, who will provide structure, who will give you guidance, who will help you get to your vision, who will hold you accountable without tearing you down, because a lot of people will try to tear us down, but who generally wants to see you succeed. She is definitely the one. So I encourage you at this time where things are in transition, when our state is opening things back up for us, when we do have an opportunity, she has taken the time to do the research. She has taken the time to make sure that we can get to the finish line. And I am going to say out loud, I'm going to get to the finish line this time. But I also want to thank her for her consistency, her dedication, her desire to see me win. And I just so appreciate that. And so I just want to publicly give her flowers because she is the true GOAT of PNCC. I do know I've watched her build people. I have watched her support people. I have watched her in groups and I've seen people soar. It's not just something she's saying, it's something she does. And I've watched her in other capacities move and operate too. That has been absolutely phenomenal. So this is only a little piece of her, but she is extraordinary. And I just want to give you your flowers today, ma'am.
You gonna make me turn red. I am too light skinned for this. Thank you. Y'all,
Yeah, it's the truth though. It
I
has to
had
be
no
said.
idea.
It's you. I know you did it. I know you did it because you're used to me being in the background. I'm usually somewhere
Yes,
crying.
my
Life is
cheeks hurt.
life in. But your consistency, your character, your support of me, listen, it's about to show up. And yes, I'm
Thank
screaming it from the
you.
mountaintop because you did that.
Thank
So thank
you.
you.
Well, thank you. Look, I'm about to have Tanya on all my webinars. Like, that was not planned, I promise
Yes,
y'all.
if you need me, it's the truth. It is the
Thank
truth.
you. I so appreciate that. Actually, if you guys follow me on social media, if you don't, go follow me. I actually just put in my stories because I just did a branding retreat this past week. And I worked with a team of 18 ladies that I helped them elevate their business. And they did the same thing. I had no idea. They shocked me, they surprised me with the gift and gave me my flowers. And y'all, like I said, I've been coaching this for 8 years, but I actually been a coach for 10. I've never experienced such a thing in my whole coaching life. Right. And so thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate. And when she says right, like I want to see every single one of you on this webinar right now. I want to see you open and I want to see you succeed. Yes, I have one, but that does not mean that you can't have one and you can't go be amazing too. And we could probably build together, right? So yeah, thank you, Tanya. Like my cheeks all hurt. I didn't put no kind of makeup on to hide the redness.
Well, salute to you, Queen, for being a prime example in a season where no one is willing to be that example. So
Yeah,
we gotta show each other that care and support. But you did it for me. So listen, that's the least I could do is speak
thank you.
truthfully about you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So okay, let me let me get collect myself. All right. So mistake number two. Doubting your experience. I just gave the example for my childcare owners. The experience is there. You just got to know how to bring it out. You got to know, some of my students, we even went and looked at all their classes that they've taken. Because depending on where you are on the registry, you've taken a ton of classes. Now, which one of those classes translate to maternal health? So don't doubt your experience is there. We just gotta see how do we pull it out and again make that resume gold. For those who don't have it as clear as a doula or as clear as an RN or a doctor or whatever, your resume just has to be gold. And I show you how to do that. Waiting too long. I just talked to you guys about that. It changes. And so we know that Evers is about to be out. We don't know who about to be the governor. So they can come and flip it again. So get in while you can before they go and do something else. Because a lot of people that wouldn't qualify now are open because they were grandfathered in. So get grandfathered in. I'm not saying that anything is going to happen, but I don't know either. We don't know because we're not in control of that piece. We're not in control of legislation. Now we are in control of who we vote for. So make sure you go out and vote. But don't wait too long, ladies. Please don't wait too long. And then don't be an overthinker. Listen, my coaching call sometimes to what Tanya was saying. Sometimes we don't even talk about business. We're talking about life, right? Because life happens. A lot of us, including myself from time to time, suffer from imposter syndrome. Right. And so, like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough, or I don't think I can do this, or I see her over there doing that. And I tell my ladies, do not compare your race to somebody else's race. Do not compare what you have. You don't know what they went through versus what you're going through and what you don't know. Your race is your race, right? So don't overthink your qualifications or if you're good enough for this or if other ladies had this business and did it wrong, you can have this business and do it right. I'm gonna just say that. Okay? So don't overthink this. It's not hard, especially when you have a coach. Again, we see Milwaukee. We see it every day. These ladies need us. Okay. So the longer you wait, you overthink, you doubt your experience, you are not open and your lady is not being served. Because she probably won't come to me. She waiting for you. Not that, she know for sure it's you, but she's waiting for somebody who can relate to her. Right. So don't overthink this. Trying to figure it out alone. You're wasting months. You're even wasting money because again, I can't tell you how many women came to me after they were denied and was like, "Hey, can you help me?" Yes, I can. But it was something that wasn't, too difficult. You just didn't know it. You were missing a piece you didn't know about. Conflicting information. We just heard from Rashika where she was like, "Do you need a nurse?" I heard you need a nurse. Conflicting information. No, you don't need a nurse. You need a qualified professional. That's what you need, right? And then no clear system is out there. So figuring it out alone is just not the way to go. What it looks like when it's done right. Approved agency. I have, and my husband told me to stop saying this, but I'm gonna talk to chat. See, I have to date, I have yet to work with somebody hand in hand for them to submit their application and be denied. I'm not gonna say what percentage that is, but I have yet to work with somebody and I go over their application with them and I look at it before they submit. I have yet to get somebody denied. Okay. So you're working with somebody who gets agencies approved. I have agencies who made close to a million, some that made a million, six figures. I've had people that made 50 because they didn't want to do much, right? So I've worked with so many different women on different levels. Serving families. Oh my gosh, like y'all. We haven't done this since COVID kind of stopped it and we never got back to it. And I really do want to do it this year. Ladies, if your passion is to work with the families in the community, we used to do adopt a family every year, and the amount of ladies that were adopted from the people in the community and were able to give their kids a Christmas because we did this. And for those who don't know, I also have a kid spot, and I used to have it there in Milwaukee. I used to give free birthday parties to my clients for their kids if they had like a little girl, right? And so we served the families. We made sure our moms were good. We had back to school things. Like if your thing is helping the families in the community, this is a good entryway into being able to do that. You can't build a state for things like that. That's outreach, but you can serve the families in a way, okay? And then like sponsorships and I teach about that too, like sponsorships and grants and government contracting and all the things will help with funding for that. And then this is a Medicaid-based income. So for my childcare owners who sometimes income is low because families dropped out or you're not full or sometimes I've seen a family of five leave and now you're scrambling to get to fill up because bills don't stop. Whether families stay or leave, bills don't stop, right? And so when you have this type of business, even for my Pretty Princess, which is my kids spa, Whether I book a party or not, my bill is due for that building. All the bills are due, right? And so for this business, because you're able to bill Medicaid, it does not matter what the economy is doing. I don't have to be like, oh, maybe I should drop my prices for my business or for my packages for the birthday parties because moms are not spending this right now. They're cutting down on, finances, so they're probably not going to book a party. Oh, I'm nervous. It doesn't matter what the economy is doing. It doesn't matter what somebody's pockets are doing. None of that matters because the services that you provide is not being paid from moms, it's being paid from the state. So this is stable income. You don't have to worry about job security if you lose your job or whatever it is. This is state funded income. And when we know that recently different things were changing with the big beautiful bill, Medicaid for our clientele did not get touched. So that's still there. That's still stable. When I worked as a crisis stabilizer, I worked with a few PNCC agents. Yes, we are. Somebody asked, I want to get to this really quick, and we're almost over, ladies. I don't want to hold you too long. Do you need an office? Now, that's like a tricky thing, right? Because remember, I said they're looking for real businesses. So, when I first started, my office was the back of my couch in the living room. Like I had in a corner a little desk that from Walmart, and that was my office, right, when I started. You still can do that. I've had students who started and they had a separate room that was just their office. You can definitely do that. But again, if it's a site visit, they're looking for real businesses. So what you do with that information is up to you. You can have a virtual address, right? I do have a connection that I give to some of my students if they want an office that I have a lady who has an office building who's willing to give offices if that's what you want. But yeah, just real business is the key word, is what they're looking for. How long is the process from start to finish? Well, the application part is depending on if you get help. That's up to you. Even when you get help, it's up to you and how fast you move. I started a respite business. I learned about respite on a Monday. Friday, I was open because it don't take much for me to move. I'm a mover, I'm a doer, right? So it's up to you how long the application process takes, right? Especially when you get help. But the approval process is a little bit longer. That can take, I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger and don't get discouraged. It could take 9 to 12 months. However, for the students that I work with, that I do have a PNCC university, I actually allow them to come and work in my PNCC program, and they start to build their business right away. And so once you submit your application, I have like a team B that are my university students, and I'm teaching them how to build their business while they wait for their approval. So they're working with clients, they're learning how to billing go, they're learning how to connect with businesses in the community. So they're really operating as a business, but through my business until their business is approved. So you don't feel the 9 to 12 months. Yes. Is that it? Is that it? Or is it that? Y'all, yeah. I do have girls, but they don't be want to teach me nothing. They mom stop. All right. All right. So let's see what happens if this isn't done right. Months lost, delays, starting over, missed income. We went over all of that. Like it's just in denials. That's not in there. Again, I see a lot of people deny. And when you're denied from the state, they don't give you your application money back. Unfortunately, if you want to do it again, you got to pay again. What it looks like in real life. Working with me, confusion to clarity, application submitted with confidence, clear next steps. What's the startup fee? I want to say it's like 790 or something like that. I should have that on my desk because I do get that question a lot. I think the application fee is like 790 to submit your application. Again, remember, don't do the hardship. Don't do the economic hardship. Just wait till you have the money to submit, okay? Because then you just go, yeah, add extra time. So at this point, ladies, are there any questions before I keep going? No? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No? Okay. So at this point, I kept you guys here for an hour. I try to keep it at an hour, or hour and a half, depending on if it's questions or not. So at this point, guys, you have two
Oh, I
options.
am so sorry. Can you repeat the question that you just asked? I went to the bathroom.
I asked if you had any questions. You got any questions?
No.
Okay. You didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing. And actually, I just finished the last class. I had about 7 people in that class, and they are ready to submit their applications. So at this point, listen, I wish, I promise, I wish. Um, I wish I could learn that. I don't have time. I would if I could, because again, that's one of the frequently asked questions that I get. Do I teach in other states? What state do you live in, Malika?
Alabama.
Mm. Send me a message. I can look it up for you, to see. Now, here's the thing. Let me give you a little tea. I don't live in Georgia. I mean, I don't live in Milwaukee anymore. I'm in Georgia.
Oh wow. Nice.
Right? I don't live in Milwaukee anymore. And so to own and operate, everything is still going. I just have my staff is there. And so if I have team meetings, if I want to be in on a meeting, I attend virtually. But I have a program manager, I have contractors, they're just doing the work there. So if you are in a place that PNCC is not, started in Milwaukee. Like before COVID, I used to try, or actually during COVID, and both. I was there every month. I would just travel back and forth for a week. I called it a workcation, right? I actually haven't been back in a while, but I feel confident in the staff that I have that they're doing what they're doing. So just a little throw that out there for you, Malika. If I'll still look and send me a message. Cause I'm saying that now, but I'm gonna forget. I guarantee you. So just send me a message if you want me to look into Alabama for you. But it's always an option to still open it in Milwaukee. And you just kind of travel back and work back and forth, especially if you're from Milwaukee. My heart is serving the community. It's other businesses that I want to open there too. I want to bring a Pretty Princess there as well. Can we have your contact information? Yes, ma'am. Some of you have contacted me on Facebook. So Maria Benzant on Facebook. If you want to email me, pnccuniversity@gmail.com. Or you can, if you got any of my text messages or emails, you can reply to any of those. All of those things are automated, but it still comes to me. Um, Yes. So let me get this closing out because I don't want y'all to leave. I don't want y'all to leave yet. And actually, if you stay to the end, I got something for y'all. I got a freebie something. So I hope y'all, I think it had y'all register. I don't know, but we'll see. So you guys have two options. You got option A, keep guessing, trying to figure it out yourself, pasting it together, taking time, waiting for them to change again. Or option B, work with me and my team. I have a staff, and we help you move forward with your application in 3 different ways. So some ladies are DIY ladies, and you're like, you know what? Tell me what to do. I got it. I'm doing myself. Just tell me what to do, right? Just give me A, B, C, D, E. That's DIY. So we do have a DIY option. Then we have a do it with you option where that's me. I teach a 5-week course. We are live every week on Tuesday. And the next one is coming up at the end of May. We go live, or I teach live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And I'm going over your the application. And every week you have homework. So we teach this, you have homework, bring it back, ask your question. So I'm doing it with you, your application. So that's for the do it with you audience, right? Just that you want me to hold your hand through the process. Then we have it do it for you option. Because some ladies is like, I don't have time. Maria, I want to do it, but I don't have time. I created this option majority for the most part for my child care owners because they don't have the time. Like I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I just need you to do it for me. So that's why I have staff and we do it for you. So you have DIY, as DWF, do it with you. No, whatever those initials are, and then do it for you option. So in these options, they're pretty much the same except for do it for you. You just tell me the information and we do everything for you. But the class, the DIY and do it with you, you got step-by-step system, you got expert guidance. Now do it DIY is all video. So I literally recorded the videos and I say do this, this, this. You watch the videos at your own timing and you do it. It's almost like online class and in-person class. Think of it that way, right? So approval ready templates, clear path to submission. Even with the new changes, everything is plugged in there for you. And here we are. So, like I said, DIY, your own pace, online course, that's $500 for you guys to start today, if that's what you want to do. Also, it's not on here, which I need to add it on here. We do accept Klarna. We accept Affirm and Afterpay. Yeah, those are the three.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so you could do DIY, that's 500, all online. You can do it with you, 5 weeks of live guidance, weekly support, Q&A. I actually review your application before you submit. Um, and then you get accountability. Because again, sometimes that when you stay after class, because I didn't tell y'all I went to school to be a teacher, so it kind of feel like a little school a little bit. But sometimes people just need encouragement, and I'm there. I stay after the workshop and say, okay, what do you need help with? Like, what's going on? So a lot of the feedback that I'm giving you guys is from actually working with women. Like, don't compare yourself to where that person is because you have your own race. And this is literal advice that I've given to people. So you get accountability. I created an AI bot. I don't know if you guys use Chat GPT or not. I'm
Oh,
actually switching over to Claude. But I created an AI bot for my students to be able to track their progress of the application and also helping you with the different forms, like the training plan, the operating plan, knowing what should go on what, where it should go, how it should sound, using DHS language from the law and the handbook. So I have an AI bot for you in that class. And then, so that's 997 up until Monday. Monday it increases to 1200. So I repeat, if you can't pay in full, there is Klarna Affirm Afterpay. And then for extreme circumstances, you can reach out to me if you need a payment plan because we don't start until the end of May. But just know after Monday or after on Monday, it increases to 1200. And then to do it for you for the ladies that are like, you know what, I just don't have the time. I want your team to do it for me. That's 2400. So any questions? I'm gonna put the link to this in the comments. Let me pull it up. Any questions before we head out of here?
Okay,
so
I have a question. So
Hmm.
what if I already went through the process and now, like I told you, I had someone do a virtual visit, and all
Hmm.
I'm doing is just waiting. Where would I fit in at? Like,
So you
if
probably
I want to,
yep, you would need probably my university.
uh huh,
Which I don't, and everybody else close your ears because I don't want y'all to try to get this. This is because I don't want to confuse people, right? And so you don't need the application because you did it already.
yeah,
And then even if, let's say, something comes back and it needs to be fixed, you have me for support. Because like I gave you the two stories of the other ladies who did the application before me, and things happen, right?
yeah. Because I wish I would
Um,
have taught you before then, because
Right,
that
right.
never
So you
happened.
you you would have me if
Man,
you're in the university. And so the university is literally set up like a university where it's a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior level
yeah,
of the different of how I'm going to get you to being ready to run your business and scale it. Because again, I don't want to see nobody on TV that I'm working with, right? And so when with the different levels, I'm teaching you how to do billing, how to do your forms, how to make connections, how do you get clients, how do you systemize clients coming in, giving them the contractors, how do you hire the contractors, what are you looking for? So like all those pieces, if you're in the university, you start doing that right off bat, even while you're waiting for approval. And now also because they just added the extra step, when you're in the university, I help you connect with all the insurance providers because I'm pretty sure you did MOUs, right? Which you don't need
Yes.
anymore.
Hmm.
And so now the new process is completely different. So now I help you with that piece. And so the university is 650 a month, and it is, oh, I don't want to lie. I think it's 7 payments. 7 payments of 650, and you work with me for a year. And it's also in the university. While I'm teaching you all these things, is when you're able to work inside of my company to build your company, right? So you get to say,
That sounds
hey,
good.
yeah, this is open and we're doing this, so that what I'm teaching you is not going to fall on deaf ears. Because if you don't open for 12 months and I just taught you how to do all these things, you're like, okay, what'd you say? Because you
Mm.
forgot everything, right? And so that's why I allow people to come into my company and start working and building their business so that you can apply what I am teaching. So that is an option too. So I'm about to post this link. Um, and so you can go on that link too if you're interested, and you would pick university. Give me 1 second. So thanks for asking that.
I have a question. You said that we would work inside of your company to learn how to build ours.
Yes.
Will we be, is it a, like a paid, because that's kind of like training. Is it like a paid training or is it
Yes,
just
it's
something we're doing?
paid. It's paid. So like when you work with clients, you're getting paid. Like, yeah,
Okay, that's
almost
great.
like a paid apprenticeship.
Internship. Yep.
Yeah, something
That
like
sounds
that. So
perfect. What will
yeah,
we,
to know me is to get like I am serious about people getting paid. And then even with some of my ladies, I'm teaching multiple streams of income. So while you're waiting for this, what else can you add to, you know what I mean? Because I'm all for multiple streams of income. Can you join the
love it.
university anytime? Yes, you can. It's still if you join and you need the freshman class, well, not freshman class. I named it some. Sorry, my business is in transition. So if you follow me, I changed the name to Agency Authority, and so there is one class that teaches you application. If you need that too, and the university, it would just be 10 payments of 650 versus 7. But yes, you can join the university at any time. The only reason I don't share it at one time is because I really want the beginning to focus be the application because I don't like to confuse people. Um, y'all, 1 second. Yeah. Any other questions?
I do have a question. Some of the people that's in the university that does work on your company, are they? I'm pretty sure they're making more than 650 a month. So that kind of compensates for the fee, huh?
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's the point. Yep. So I
What is
tell
the average monthly compensation for that? When you're in that position.
it depends, and my focus is split in two different things. So I'm getting the website for you guys. Um, It depends. So I can't just say a number because it depends on how much you work, right? So when I gave y'all the example of one lady who hit six figures in 7 months and then double six figures in 12 months, she actually wasn't all the way open yet. She was working in my business, right? She did that. But I also had ladies that made maybe $2,000. So it really depends on what you do and how
Depends
you
on your
scale.
hustle.
Exactly. Y'all, where is it? Okay,
And so
found
to
it.
get
Found it, y'all.
started with the university is the 650 is just upfront every month, or is there
Yes.
a
So the day that
deposit?
you pay your
Okay.
650, every month it
Hmm.
automatically does it with the same credit
Okay.
card. And then like if you ever want to update your credit card, you just reach out and say, "Hey, I need to put a different credit card on file." It does it for you. All
Okay.
right, I'm about
And
to
that's a
put this.
12-month
Yes,
program, correct?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the reason I do 12 months is because, again, that's typically how long it takes to be open. And so we're building in that time span. And then once you're open, it's like, okay, y'all, let's for real, let's scale. What's your goal? You trying to hit six figures, 7 figures, like all of that, what you saw on the news is possible and by doing it the right way. Like all of that is possible. Yeah.
Your program sounds really, really. At first, the price kind of shocks you, but when you break it
Mhm.
down and say you're going to be making money while you're learning, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes, ma'am. You are. So if you go to the site, I didn't get to update it today. It says the offer has expired, but just know that it's 997 up until Monday. And then Monday it goes to 1200. So if anybody is interested, I just put the website in the chat. Again, we start the end of May, and I'll be sending out that date because I don't have it on me right now. Um, but yeah, it's 5 weeks. It's live. Again, that's if you want DIY, that's not on the site. You have to message me for DIY. But PNCC University is on there, and also the application class is on there if that's what you want to do. But I am excited to see you ladies open. I'm excited to have more women open and do this the right way and give PNCC a great name again because it was a beautiful thing. And I'm looking forward to see it be a beautiful thing again.
And the only way it's gonna work if you actually like helping people. So a lot of people get into
That
business
question
and they
I
don't
have.
like working with people or working with kids. Why get in this field? You know, it's not gonna work out.
Exactly. Exactly. And another thing too, I teach my students is almost like not only retraining the community, for some clients, you have to retrain them too. Because if you think about what was billed for and all the things that happen in the news, that's hundreds of women who were programmed the wrong way to think that this program is this when it's really this. And so I teach my students about, marketing. Marketing is so huge right now because you have to make sure I'm making sure already that you're not committing fraud, right? But you
Mm.
also have to make sure that you're staying away from the appearance of what looks like fraud. Even if you're not doing it, you don't even want it to appear like you are, right? And y'all can write this down. One of the biggest things when marketing with PNCC is you cannot bribe. And while that sounds like that's so easy to not do, it's not. Let me tell y'all an example, and then I'm gonna close like a pastor. No, um, I stopped working with clients years ago. Like it's been years since I worked with clients. I do this. I've been coaching for 8 years. I have my own company. I have actually multiple companies. So I haven't worked with clients in whatever. And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna work with some clients. I miss working with clients. I'm gonna do that. But I only want clients that are want to be entrepreneurs. And so I was gonna post and say, I'm looking for 5 ladies that's pregnant and have Medicaid and you need help, but you also want to be an entrepreneur, I'll coach you for free. Sign up with me. That's bribing. I'm saying if you choose me, I'm gonna give you this instead of going over there.
Ah,
Something
okay.
that simple. You know what I mean? So like in this time of the PNCC world, you have to be very careful in how you speak about
Yeah.
things.
I'm gonna
I
take
have
any
a question.
referral bonuses for childcare.
Go ahead. Who said they have a question?
I did. If I do it for me and then do the university, I seen that you offer like to help find like your staff and everything as well. Even though I want it to be done for me, is there a way for me to still be included in everything with the process to so it's kind of like I'm not doing it myself, but I still kind of want to know everything hands on because I do have too much going on, like I have to be honest. But I do want to be a part, like
I
I don't
had
want
to
to
fix
have a
my
business
face.
that I don't
Yes, yes,
understand
yes.
and
I had
that
to fix
I'm
my
not.
yeah, I
Oh,
had to
okay.
fix my face as you was asking the question because I'm like, girl, yeah, but I'm like, wait, you don't know me. So yes, that is the coach and mentor in me. I don't do anything that you don't know what I'm doing. Right. And
Mhm.
so even you're with us on every step of the process. So we're doing this. And you'll even be able to log in and see this is what
Mhm.
they're working on. This is what they're working on. And then you also will get access to the DIY class because I want you to understand what you're doing. Like
Right.
it does
Okay.
not make sense for me to do this for you and you don't even understand because when they come and do a site visit or when they come and do whatever it is that they do, I want you to be an expert so that you can talk to them like you know what you're talking about,
Right.
right? And so
Right. Like
I
I'm the
had
qualified professional.
exactly. So I had, listen, it's so funny. And this is why I really started to hit that on a nail because I had one student who, because I'm a coach and I'm a mentor and I do all the things, and she asked me something and I told her the answer. And I still show you where it's at, right?
Mhm.
And so she went and talked to the person who was processing her application. And I was like, okay, what'd you say? Well, my mentor told me that you said that to the guy. Ah, no. You
You
went and
rehearsed it
looked.
so well.
I like you don't want to say that your mentor or your coach, like you want to be the expert, not that it's bad that you got it from me, but you're the expert of your business. This is your business.
Exactly.
And so, yes, every part of the process when I teach, I'm making sure that you understand what it is and why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
I have
like
a question.
this was a good webinar. I like y'all questions. Like I'd be like, any questions? And they be
Maria, I
quiet.
have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know you're the SME at this, but if you were someone, what advice would you give someone who knows zilch about the system? What would be your advice, the best way to go about? Would you say take the university? Would you say do the DIY or
Definitely not the DIY. No,
Um,
I would say I'm not saying don't do the university because if you guys want to come right off and do the university, it's 10 payments versus seven. So by all means, that like the university is going to have everything. So it's really up to you because once you do the application class, you're just going to jump over into the university and do seven payments instead of 10. You know what I mean? But so it really doesn't matter because you get me the same.
okay. Okay.
Right. So whether you want to pay 9.97 right now or the 6.50 is up to you. Because by the time the class start, you would have had two payments and you're right into the class. So that's it's really completely up to you. Just know that eventually you will want to be in the university because as much as I'm pouring now and this is free, and I like listen, sometimes again, because I'm in Georgia, I'm an hour ahead of y'all. Well, you in Alabama. No, you still central time though,
I'm
right?
central. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
central.
so like
Mhm.
I'm an hour ahead, and my people be having me. I'm like, y'all, it's 11 o'clock here. My husband is waiting for me, but because I pour, right, and I want to make sure that everything that you get, um, this is an amazing opportunity, not just for the ladies, and I teach about that a lot, the ladies in the community, but for you and your family to be able to have a legacy of financial independence. Financial freedom. That's why I had y'all type at the beginning. This is financial freedom for a lot of ladies, and I'm all about that. So, yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a lot going on right now, a lot with health and other stuff. But I would like to start to see if I could just. I want to learn how to be a care coordinator.
Do you want me to hire you? Is that what you're saying?
And then once because I've tried it before, but I couldn't get the paperwork out.
Yeah.
That was the issue with that for me.
Hmm.
So I mean, I have a partner, and I want to eventually bring this idea to her, but I want to understand it before I try that.
Yeah.
You know.
So two ways for you, depending on what you want to do. If like you know that you want to be an owner and you don't understand it, the university is good. But I do not let anybody into working for me under the university, which is like the
Mhm.
pay apprenticeship, until you submit that application. Because
Okay.
otherwise, like what we doing, right?
Yeah.
So if it's again, it's up to you. I've had people just join my company, but just know that when you join my company to just work for my company, you don't work with me. I'm
Okay.
hands off in that. Like I said, I have a
Yeah.
program manager, care coordinators, all of that is
Uh,
running smooth without me. Okay,
okay.
which
Okay.
is not a bad thing because I pick
Yeah.
good people. You know what
That
I mean?
you're able to trust it. Yeah.
But if you want to work with me, you would be in the university and also in the company. So the company part, you'll still work with her, but I teach behind the scenes as a business owner. So yes, you're
Okay.
working with clients and you're doing all the things, but this is how you look at it as a business owner and not just a contractor.
Okay.
That's kind of what I do.
Okay.
So
I
it's up
see.
to you. Like you said, you have a lot going on. If you have a partner that you're doing this with, um, that would be a
Well, I don't
decision
want to
that,
put this on her because she already has everything going. She's running from morning to night. So I wanted to bring this part and be able to run this part.
yeah.
But I'm also in the middle of taking an NCE exam because I have a
Hmm.
degree in mental health, and
Hmm.
that
You
I'm
got a
doing.
degree in mental health. Please do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Please do
I'm
this.
doing two boot camps right now because I take my licensing exam in October. So for the next 6 months, I'm like in boot camp. So I
Yes.
make sure I
So let
pass.
me throw this out here, and I'm not saying everybody do this because this is hard. So you guys heard that I'm a wife, a mom of four. I like to say that, but my older two are adults. So go
Mhm,
they doing their own thing. But I also do this, the PNCC University. I also have my PNCC agency. I also have my Pretty Princess Kids Spa that has events and does birthday parties. I also do a mentorship with my mentor. Which is why I told y'all, you guys, on my stories is some of the ladies giving like testimony of working with me, because I do mentorship or coaching in her program. So a lot of us do multiple things,
mhm,
right? But when I say that I've tried to stop this so many times, but I love what we do, I can't. So it just depends on how do you kind of steal an hour or two, or maybe 5 hours a week to be able to do this, right? So I teach, one of the things that I teach my contractors is time blocking.
mhm,
And okay, how do I do this and fit all these? Because people are like, are you a robot? Because not only did I have all those things when I was getting the team of 18 ladies to the branding retreat, we were meeting every Sunday. And then I had meetings every Monday with my mentor, with the behind the scenes staff. And then every Tuesday for a bus mentorship that we're doing in July. So it's all about time blocking to make it all happen. And also making sure that I'm available for my husband and my kids. So
yeah.
it depends.
I have one more question.
Hmm.
Do you do personal mentorship?
And that's in the university. It's not personal
This
person.
business encouragement.
So I do that in class. So remember I said like sometimes I end up staying like when everybody, like if you guys were to get off and like, Maria, can I talk to you for a sec? Oh yeah, come on. Like I do that in the group setting, but after people leave, right? Or I've done one-on-one sessions for my university students. I do not do it outside of the university because it would cost too much. Because everything that I listed that I do, I would have to carve out more time for something else. And when I don't want to do it, I charge more for it because then I make it worth it for me. So I'm just like, just get the university and you got me. Any other questions?
I do have a question.
Mhm.
When we were talking about having a qualified professional once you start your agency, and you were talking about nurses and doulas, being in childcare for over 20 years and having a bachelor's in business and human resource with that,
You got a bachelor's?
I'll have it June 23rd, ma'am.
Then you don't need ma'am, are your own qualified professional and you do not have to hire
Okay.
nobody.
Yes, I have it on June 23rd.
You're good. You don't have to
Okay.
go hire anybody.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
then another thing too, because my mother's she's been owning Dreamland Childcare for like, I don't know if you've ever heard of us, for 35 years.
What's the
So
name of
I'm thinking
what's the name?
Dreamland Childcare
I think
in
so.
Sand Holly.
Okay. Because I was connected to the Grisbys. I don't think they're open anymore, but I was connected to the
I've
Grisbys.
heard of them before.
Yeah,
They
they were
are
huge.
still open.
They were huge. I went to church with the owners. And then
Okay.
the Hickman Academy, Hickman Childcare, I
Yeah,
was
they were
attached
over
to.
there. They had a big academy over
Oh
there
yeah, they
on
had a school. I worked in the school for a
yeah,
little. Yeah. So this is
yeah.
how I'm so familiar with childcare because I was connected to a lot of people in the community.
Well,
So
I'm
I'm like,
definitely gonna be signing up for the university. You said it starts in
uh,
May?
yes. So if you do, and just so that I'm clear, if you do the university and not the do it with you, the 997, if you do straight the 650 a month payment plan, you have to have two payments before you start.
Okay.
Two payments have to be made before you start. So if you do the 997, but Monday it goes up to 1200. So just want to
Okay.
put that out there.
And with the university, with to do the 12-month plan and actually come and work for your company while I build mine, um, that starts when?
As soon as you submit your application.
Cool. Okay. That's all
Yep.
my questions. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? I love the energy. I love the questions. I'm like, yes, questions. All right. Well, if that is all, the link is in. I'm gonna put it one more time. If anybody need the link, just remember the price increase on Monday. I am excited. Just make sure you join the community. I'm gonna be sending an email out and a text message if you guys have not joined the free community on Facebook because I go live there sometimes, not as much as I like, but I still do go live from time to time. I put announcements in there and stuff like that. So, yes, thank you guys for giving me an hour and a half of your time tonight. And for those who sign up, I will see you soon. You guys have a good night.